and I'm still gonna drop the bomb in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Spinners.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
So you say you're all dressed to impress. I wouldn't expect anything less. You got your cameras rolling. How is it being on the island of Bermuda? First of all, is it your first time?
No, not the first time.
No.
Hopefully not the last either. It's an incredible place. I'd love to call this home.
Yeah?
Yes.
You'd like to become a citizen?
Indeed.
Nice. So, you know, how was your flight in? Did you get to see the water?
Oh man, it was unearthly. It's a beautiful place coming in, and the colors of the water changing, etc., etc. It was just really an awakening.
Nice.
Of another part of the world that really exists.
And I know you're performing tomorrow, but does this kind of feel like a little vacation? Have you been able to take some time out and just put your feet up and enjoy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were graced to, you know, we went to several clubs last night, had a great time.
Right, I know you were.
And went to the beach, had a great time, you know, shopping and doing some things, and just looked at the water and go scuba diving.
No, not quite.
You're right back.
But you got to, you know, got the chance to sound. But and you were at Shines last night, right?
Yeah.
For a meet and greet. And how were the people? Were they courteous? Were they nice? Did they?
She was beautiful. They were beautiful. they were great, wonderful, incredibly energetic, dancing, and you know, I mean, really, it was real life. It was finally real life for a change. It's something that I love being a part of because it's not always that way where I just come from. You know, you have to search for realness in people.
Nice.
Here, it just comes out naturally.
That is such a good thing that you've experienced that thus far. And how long are you going to be staying? Or do you know?
Yeah, we're going to be here till Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Spinners right here at the Hut HQ. They're performing tomorrow. And just to let you know, I mean, I'm a 80s baby.
Okay.
So I'm going to be real. I wasn't around when the Spinners were at the height of their, you know, making your singles and stuff like that. However, before I even knew what the word Spinners was, I recognized some of the music. I mean, you listen to music, movies, your music is everywhere. So even if you don't know the name Spinners, you have to be familiar with your music. So I have to take my hat off, you know.
Thank you
for all of the stuff that you have been able to accomplish. I know that you were, I mean, one of the biggest soul groups of the 70s.
Yes, yes.
Definitely,
yes,
right?
Most definitely.
And you were originally based out of Detroit?
Out of Detroit.
Yeah?
Yeah, originally out of Motown Records, and along with David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks and Paul Williams and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Gosh, see, you're taking us back to a time where music was... I have a question to ask you in a little while about the music today.
Okay.
But I mean, you've been active since 1961.
Since 1961.
And it's 2011, so that's 50 years.
Yeah.
50 years. Happy 50 anniversary. I'm going to drop the bomb on that. 50 years in the business. Not too many people can say that. And you've had 17 members in the history.
That's right.
And I see 5 members here today. Where are some of the other members? What are they doing?
Well, Henry and Bobby are in the States, and Purvis and Billy passed away.
Right.
The originals, out of the originals, Bobby, Henry, and myself.
About you guys. And I always wondered, I said, where did the word Spinners come from? You know, it's a, you think of something going around and come to find out that was the inspiration behind the naming of the Spinners.
See, in Detroit, everything was dealt with cars.
Right.
And in the old days, in the old days, back on 8 Mile Road, when we were kids, everybody had spinners on their cars, and you could see them, and that's where the name comes from. After several more names, we decided, you know, at least at that time, Spencer Craftman from the originals were in the group. George Dixon, whose brother also was with the original, he was in the group at that time. So as the groups evolved, so that the name and the final thing came in the 60s when we became Spinners.
So all of those people that, you know, a couple years ago, they were driving around their Spinners on their cars, acting like there was something new.
Nothing new.
There's nothing new. So you guys pretty much trademarked that. Was anybody else really bringing attention to those?
That's right.
No?
And they also have a group called the Spinners in Europe. They call them the British Spinners.
Right.
And for a while there was a conflict between us and them back in the 60s. So they call us the American Spinners. and the Brit Spinners. So.
Okay. You all get along now?
Oh yeah. I think we got more hits than them.
Right.
So,
I guess they kind of had to be your friend.
Yeah, but they're great guys.
Did you find that a lot of other groups back in the 70s? Would you name any that you might have had maybe a rivalry or someone that was like, I want to be bigger than them, or?
Well, we were the kind of group, thanks to Mr. Harvey Fuqua. Harvey Fuqua was our mentor, teacher, and owned Tri-Fi Records, the record company in which the Spinners was first signed to, with a song called That's What Girls Are Made For. So after Harvey began to teach the Spinners a new technique, because he was the lead singer of the Moonglows, therefore his interpretation of music was completely different. And he taught the Spinners class as opposed to volume of trying to get hits. So the Spinners would be a working group even if they had no hit record. So he defined and refined the group's movements, the songs, the vocals, the background, the dance, the whole thing. And Mr. Charlie Atkins, the late Charlie Atkins, taught us the choreography. Wow. So we went through all that stuff at Motown. Miss Powell taught us etiquette and how to sit and how to speak and how to talk and how to chew gum, that kind of thing. So it was great. Yeah.
This is going to lead right into the question that I was going to ask you. All of that going into the music back then that you carried forward, obviously you're still relevant today. How has the process of evolving 50 years? I mean, it's one thing to be hot, way back then, but to still be recognized today. How has that process of evolving yourselves, or staying relevant?
I think probably what you do is remember things you used to do and start doing them again, because there is nothing new. Therefore, you revive what you know and bring it, because the new generation is changing so fast because of technology. So you have to make some kind of way, part the waters, if you will, so that you can catch up with the youth if you intend to get a part of that generation. Right. Because they're not going to wait for us. So then hip hop comes and then rap comes and all that. And so you have to fuse it, because you really want them to get the best of the music, and that's what we do. So we try to integrate our music and evolve gracefully, respectfully with the new generation, I think, probably. Yeah.
So in your downtime, and speaking of some of the newer artists, is there any artist that you hear today that you think is a good product?
Oh, lots of artists. A lot of great young artists out there. And I still do have a lot of hope and aspirations for groups like the OJs and the Whisperers and the Manhattan, who are still singing. I mean, really singing hard, and that kind of music is difficult to come by. Right. But if you got young cats who are singing like this kid John Mayer, who is R&B, some other kind of interpretation of a singer, but the music is beautiful, and the people are eating it up. And so you got Usher out there doing his thing. Right. You got a lot of young cats. So this young guy named Chris Brown. They're singing, and this kid that everybody's going crazy about, I just need you to say something, baby. I don't know who he is, but he's the bomb.
Justin Bieber?
No, well, my little daughters love Justin Bieber and all the little girls, but he's a good little singer. And,
do you think that he has a bright future?
I think so. I think so. He's original and he's young. Hi, I'm G.C. Cameron of the Spinners, and let me tell you, we're here, and every time that we're here, every Saturday, we listen to the Super Mix on Hot 107.5.